Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Because now I know when something happens in our lives that is unexpected, you have to go into it in order to ever have any hope of coming through it. So when you go, guess what? When you come out the other side, you grow.
Brought out more in me than I thought that I didn't even know that I had.
That has given all of us a great hope for what we can do with our own messages, our abilities to deliver, but most importantly, to deliver it in an authentic and very, very intriguing way.
Have you ever been in something or felt something where the only way you felt you could deal with it was to leave, get away? I thought that was the meaning of control. It took me 4.5 years to stop looking around the room of my life, of my journey, of my purpose, digging in cushions for a remote that never existed. Looking, re-looking, going back and upgrading, bringing in and pulling out things that do not serve you must go. Those things out in this world that are designed to bring us down, to keep us down, put their foot on our neck and whisper to us that we're never good enough, they don't whisper. They yell at us from all directions, top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, side to side, corner to corner, and corner to corner, 365 days. When somebody asks you about yourself, don't you dare whisper. When they ask you to raise your hand, don't you dare half raise it. When they ask you something good about you, you scream it with all you have. Come on now, get up, get up. Tell me who you are. Show me who you are.
Greatest truth of all, that not everyone has to remain lost.
last time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul, and honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Oh, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. But you walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight.
Good morning. Thought I was going to be quiet, right? Nope, not going to happen. Not on this show. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Dr. Lauren, and it is a beautiful day in this neighborhood. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I am so excited. What is the date? Let me look. It's the 6th. Counting down to Christmas. How are you doing with your Christmas shopping? If I can remember where I've hidden everything, I would probably be right around 50-60% finished. I need to keep some kind of a map because I've hidden things. I found some stuff yesterday that was meant to go to people last year. I just didn't remember where I put it. They'll get it this year. That's the good thing about finding your own shit. I'm just saying, you know. So anyway, I'm excited. It's a beautiful day here in the Chicagoland area. We had a little snow. It melted away, but it's still a little chilly out there. Welcome to the show, my sidekick. She helps keep me warm inside. Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo's here and has been every day for the last 8 years. Well, 7. We start our 8th year, you guys. I'm so excited. My, how the time has flown. 8 years we've been here on the E360 television network, starting our 8th full season, 50 straight weeks, 5 days a week, starting January 8th. 2024, and I hope you'll be there. You know, as always, we have a new show opener. We have a new set. We have a new robe for the year. There are all the ones in retirement. Look, all 8 seasons. I'm so excited. Listen, that's the bell of purpose. It's here on purpose, and I ring it with purpose. Why? Well, first and foremost, because we're all busy people trying to do a million things at once, but we should never become so busy that we miss the truth. We miss an opportunity to grow. So when something's out here, somebody's talking about something, it might be a comment on the screen. Our guest, who today is Hank Longo, or maybe even once in a blue moon, something comes out of this noggin that is worthy of going, I like that, right? So when something like that happens, and I don't want you to miss it, that's what you're going to hear. Okay, the bell means tune in. So anyway, who do we have? I don't have any announcements except get your Christmas shopping done. What do I have an announcement? I have one. That's right. Okay, because I remember they were in my ear earlier. Don't forget, today is Wednesday. 1 week ago today, a new show on my network, you know, Trajectory TV, 1 year old. November 1st, we turned 1 year old. And one of our newest shows, it debuted actually last Wednesday. It's a wonderful mother-son duo out of the Bronx, New York. They are a dynamic duo, if I say so myself. Like I said, mother-son team. They it's called, the name of the show, Working It Out Across Generations. And before the end of the hour, I'm going to show you their show opener. But first, we're going to get our guest in here, Hank Longo. Who is he? Who is he? Boy, I'm looking at his website. There's so much here. There's so much here. Let me just tell you, Hank Longo, he is famous. He really is. He's famous. He's in the Water Skiing Hall of Fame. Broke a lot of records. We're going to watch a little clip here from a show I'm sure you remember, because I do. I used to be plopped right in front of the TV. And actually, I loved the hair we had back then. Take a look at this clip that I'm going to show you. Let me get it set up. First, I need to come back here. When Hank was on a little show, if you remember, called That's My Mama. That was a different show. I heard you. No, that was a good show, though. What happened to what was his name? Clifton Davis. I still got it. I do not. I'm claiming no Alzheimer's for this boy. Clifton Davis. That's my mama. Okay, and that's my ADHD at work. That's incredible. Do you remember that show? I do. I used to love that show. And Hank was featured on there. And if I can pull it up, let me see. Where do I want to watch this from? Hold on, you guys. I'm like, well, here's one thing Frank and I have in common. Neither one of us is really techie. I can own mine. We found out the hard way with Frank last time. We'll talk about that when he gets in here. Here we go. Let's take a look here. And remember that guy? Look at that hair, y'all.
Hank Longo is one of America's top-ranked water ski jumpers. You're about to see him attempt to accomplish a first in water ski history.
Well, let's see it then.
We're at Tivoli Gardens at Brighton, Michigan. Hank Longo has pioneered a high-flying...
Uh-oh, Hank. Put them guns away, Hank.
...leap over 14 boats in a single bound, a distance of 155 feet. And he's off. This jump is an amazing test of high-powered speed and split-second timing. Hank will approach the ski ramp at a speed of almost 60 miles per hour. Just hit the ramp perfectly. Here he goes. He's up. He's done it! Here it is again in slow motion.
That was my favorite part of the show. That's incredible. And he's incredible. Put your hearts on the screen. It's our virtual way of saying welcome to the show for our first timers. Here he comes, Hank Longo, you guys. And I don't think he'll be jumping over. Well, he might jump over something this morning. We'll see. Good morning, Hank.
Good morning, Dr. Lauren. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm loving it.
I know why you're grinning, because every time you see that clip, you grin.
I do. It's just like it happened yesterday.
You still got that water skiing suit?
Oh, yes.
You have that very
one. Fit like it used to, but I still have it.
Go put it on. Go put it on and then turn sideways.
You're so bad.
What's it? I know. Look, I couldn't even wear one back in that day. So let's just put it that way. Welcome to the show. Glad you're here.
Delighted to be here.
Yeah. So tell everybody, where are you at in the world? Where do you reside? I think Florida, right?
I'm in beautiful Central Florida, Winter Haven, Florida. It's kind of like between Orlando and Tampa, a little bit south, but right in the middle of the state. Beautiful.
A lot of snowbirds there.
Oh, yeah.
I figured that's how it got the name, Winter Haven.
And it's like the fastest growing county in the state and the fourth in the country. So it's a little crazy with all the people moving down here, but everybody wants to enjoy the beautiful weather.
So what's it? Are you guys like the people that have been there for a minute? Every time you see some new people or another RV pulling into town, are you like, friggin' snowbirds? Tell the truth.
The thing that those folks don't bother me. It's all the apartments and homes going up that is just saturating our community, which is it's tough because you're getting more traffic and just it's getting to be a little too many people. But that's progress. What are you going to do?
That's right. So many places. I know. That's why I left Phoenix. That's why I left Vegas. It was all growing too fast. So I moved to a quiet little town known as Chicago.
Yeah, there you go. Ding, ding.
Right. Actually in the suburbs, but you get it. So let me ask you something. So you're from Brighton, Michigan.
Well, actually, I was born in New York. And my dad was an FBI agent. And he became the director of the Pontiac Bureau. So we moved to Michigan. My dad was from Michigan.
Pontiac.
Yeah, and so I grew up in Michigan, went to Eastern Michigan, and then after that moved to
Ypsilanti.
That's right, good old Ypsilanti.
I used to I was in a group home, and when I was still in foster care in Ann Arbor, and my surrogate dad was a student at Eastern. He was a social working student from Daryl. Hi, Daryl, from Eastern Michigan University. I used to go and hang out on that campus with him.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a lovely experience. And
Okay.
went to Minneapolis, and from Minneapolis, came here. Of course, I got to throw a little shout out. I had a car stereo shop in Minneapolis, sound around town, and Prince was a customer of mine. I did all the car
Prince William?
stereos. Prince, the rock star,
You mean the artist
Purple
formerly known
Rain,
as?
Purple Rain, and all that
No,
good
I'm
stuff.
kidding. Oh, that guy with the symbol.
That guy with the symbol. He and the guys in the time. Anyhow, it was kind
So
of
he
fun.
would buy his stereo equipment from you.
Yeah, I did his limousine. The first limousine he had, I kind of
Carried it out.
apart and did all the electronics and sound in it. It was neat.
Picked it out.
Oh, crazy story. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting back in the limo and I'm going to listen to it for the first time. Turn on the radio and boom. No sooner does Prince come on the radio singing Raspberry Beret.
In the car that you just tweaked out for him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sitting
a
there
sign.
listening to the guy on the radio that I put the radio in.
Wow, that was a moment to remember.
Oh yeah.
Did you get an autographed photo?
No, yeah, I never saw the guy.
I would have got an autographed piece of clothing. Trust me, I would. You know how much that would have been worth today?
Oh, I'm sure.
Frank.
I'm sure.
Frank. So,
Hank.
you know what, you guys, let me just say, I was bragging that I didn't have a senior moment. Now I did, because I set my appointment out, and I have one of my favorite coaching clients. I love them all, but Frank Iovine is like my buddy. We're going on an ayahuasca journey. We're going together next year to like Peru together. Are you familiar with ayahuasca, Frank?
No.
Frank. Hank. Lord Jesus, call me moron instead of Lauron, and we'll be even. Hank.
That's okay.
Hank. Wait, I gotta say it like 20 times. Hank. And not you, man with an F in his name. I gotta turn my list over for today. Hank, tell me this. What age did you slip your feet into your first set of water skis?
I was 7 years old.
7 years old.
Yeah.
Whose idea was it?
It was my neighbor. We lived in a beautiful country area back when I was growing up, and we lived across the street from the lake. And my neighbor down the lake, who was actually the principal of our local school, talked me into learning how to ski. It took me 14 times, but I finally got up. And after I got up, it was off to the races.
So you knew once you got, you were able to stand on them. Did you feel something special?
Oh yeah, it was just amazing to me. I just knew I just had to keep doing this.
Do you remember the very first thing you ever jumped over in those skis?
Yes, I do. It was a crazy story. They used to have the Masters Water Ski Championships on ABC's Wild World of Sports.
I remember Wild World of Sports on Saturdays.
Yeah, and watching it, they had the Masters Water Ski Tournament. Then they had this guy, Joker Osborne, jumping that just amazed me. And I go, gosh, I want to be a jumper like that. Well, at the end of the show, they had information to get a hold of the American Water Ski Association, which I did. And they hooked me up with the local ski club, not far from where I lived on Lake Oakland Ski Demons. And I got skiing there, and there was a jump. And I said, I want to go over the jump. And I remember it like yesterday. I was going towards this big red wall, and I'm going, no, I don't want to go over. And they kept pulling me, and I went up and over, and took about 3 times to land successfully. But once I landed, I was hooked.
So whose idea was it for this? That's incredible feat of jumping over. What was it? 17 boats?
14 boats.
14 boats.
So That's Incredible was like one of my favorite shows. And every week, you had somebody doing some crazy stunt. And on this one particular show, this guy comes zooming down the track on a motorcycle, goes off a ramp, and sails over all these buses. And when he lands, it hits me. I go, you know what? I bet you if I water ski jump over a whole bunch of boats, I could get on That's Incredible.
And you did. And was that guy on the motorcycle by chance named Evel Knievel?
No, it wasn't Evel Knievel.
I know it should have been.
It was a doomy like Evel Knievel, or a wannabe. But
were you ever referred to like the Evel Knievel of water?
Yes, I have been.
I figured.
I actually am.
I figured, and except You needed a Hank Longo action figure because I had Evel Knievel. I had him. I had
You
that
know what? I
toy.
think well, here, hold on for a second. Here is my Mr. Perfect action figure. Now, Mr. Perfect, WWF wrestler,
Yeah.
superstar. He was a dear friend of mine. I actually made made all of his custom wrestling wear. I had a little line of clothes at the time, and Mr. Perfect, a good friend of mine, and another thing, he inspired me to write my book, Golden Boy Headlock versus the villain Vito Marmot. And
Just
okay,
happen
wait,
to have that stuff sitting right.
even one more. My Golden Boy Headlock and Tiger, How to Be Cool guide and survival tips. So just a couple of little things there.
You're
Let me.
just the Mr. Haney of your area there in Winter Haven. Why do I see you driving around town in a big old truck with some of everything in the back? So remember Mr. Haney? Green Acres. Yes, yes. So let me ask you. So you had a stereo shop and met Prince. You created clothing for
I had a line of Hank
real
Longo designer sportswear. I outfitted a number of U.S. teams, junior teams. Had my stuff in Dayton stores up in Minneapolis, and it was quite an experience.
So you've just done a whole plethora of stuff.
I've had some fun things I've done. Yeah.
I love that when people, I mean, I would rather have a whole bunch of different stories of different things and experiences than, yeah, I worked at IBM in the copy center for 40 years. You know what I'm not to take anything from people that do that, but it's just not me. I like to live my life like my mind works, ADHD style, all over the place. I just do. I love adventure.
That's the way I am. You and I are there, bro. It's for me to sit still and do something. It's just so hard. If I'm moving and doing things, but the ADHD, whatever you want to call it, it's I got to keep moving, got to keep doing something.
Yeah. Hey, what's the most I mean, is it like for water skiers, is it anything like it is for surfers where they love to surf or water ski different places, like exotic places? So how many waters have you water skied?
I've been all over the country, actually.
What about outside of the United States? Have you
No,
water
I've never been. I've snow skied outside the United States in Switzerland. But
Of course you have.
water skiing, you got all your gear, and I just never really I had opportunities to ski in international tournaments. I just never did. And it's hard even skiing in the country. Dragging a pair of 8-foot jumpers through the airport terminal is a pain. Then trying
Well,
to get
tell that to the golfers. I
Yeah.
see golfers with those big ass bags just hauling all kind of shit everywhere. They don't care. They're gonna go play that hole. Trust me. Let me ask you this though. Water skiing is first of all, do you know the birthplace of water skiing?
I happen to know it very well. It's in hold on for a second. Now I'm having a senior moment. Lake Pippin, Lake City, Minnesota.
Exactly.
Actually, they have a picture of my world record stunt in the Lake City Chamber of Commerce.
Well, of course, because you're in the Water Skiing Hall of Fame, right?
I'm in the Water Ski Hall of Fame. I'm actually the project executive director for the Water Ski Hall of Fame. I just built the new Water Ski Hall of Fame museum a few years ago. That's in the Central Florida Visitor Center, thanks to them. But we've got a little display actually down there in Lake City. We work with the chamber on putting together a small little museum with a new statue of Ralph Samuelson, who was the first water skier, the father of water skiing.
Really?
Yeah.
So they just had some 2x4s back then, right? They just strapped them on and.
Yeah, he found a couple of planks and that were like almost 8 feet long and curved up the tip on them and had some straps to put his feet in, and off he went.
And that was that.
There you go. And now millions of people around the world are water skiing.
So is water skiing as popular today as ever, or has it kind of
It's gone through a lot of changes. At one time, you saw a lot of people out on the lake skiing, and if you're a competitive skier, it was difficult because if you're trying to run the slalom course or you're jumping and you got boats going all around you, it makes for horrible, conditions. So a lot of people, almost all tournament skiers, are off on private lakes now. And you do get show skiing, which has become probably the most expanded part of our sport because there's so many people that are on a part of a ski team, a show ski team. But it's gotten very expensive. I mean, ski boats are just so outpriced for what used to be able to get for maybe $30,000 cost $150,000 now. So it's an expensive sport, unfortunately.
Have you ever seen a black person water skiing?
Oh yeah, I've got a number of black friends that water ski.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, because the reason I asked is because you said it was expensive, and when I was a little boy, sitting next to Nellie Olson on Little House on the Prairie. Yes, it was that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. It stood out to me, and when I saw things because back then I remember when I saw Arthur Ashe play tennis, I was like, black people can play tennis, it was like same thing when we saw Tiger Woods. Same thing when I saw, what's his name? The country singer. Remember there was a Chuck something. Remember there used to only be one black country singer. Remember that? Right. Now it's totally different.
Charlie Pride.
Charlie Pride. Exactly. See, he was good friends with me. I called him Chuck. So Charlie Pride, we used to be the only one. Now look at it. But it was very expensive, a lot of these things for people to, even Caucasian people, a lot of them to afford. It was expensive. So when you were doing this, did you have to get people to pay or sponsor you, or did your parents take care of? How did you?
My parents saw me back in the day when I was learning and growing up. It wasn't that expensive. I mean, I could afford to buy my skis and well, actually, my mom helped me with my skis. Funny story is that I was in my first big jump tournament and I broke my skis just before the tournament, and I was devastated. I was one of the top young kids coming up as a jumper, and I'm devastated because my skis are broken. And my mom came down to the dock one day or down to the ski site and gave me some money. She goes, "Here's some money to buy those new skis you want." So I get the new skis and I go out and I win my first jump tournament. Could be a Disney story.
There you go.
I need to have a bell. I'm surprised I don't have some kind of a bell in here that I
know it's addictive
with you.
A lot of people have bells.
I'll just yodel. Every time you ring the bell, I'll yodel.
You know how to yodel? You really know how? Who knew? How'd you learn to yodel?
Hey, from my Austrian ski instructor back in high school. And he go down the hill, and I go, I got to learn how to yodel like this guy. So I got a yodeling record and listened to it, practiced in the shower. And
so here's the joke. Knock, knock.
Knock,
knock.
Who's there?
Little old lady.
Your lady.
You're supposed to say, little old lady. Who?
You little old lady. Who?
See that? Little old lady.
Mercy.
Wow. You learn something every day. I love that. Yodeling. Wow. Okay. You know where I put you? I put you right along Steve Martin in that movie when he sang an Irish lullaby. Remember that? Right. Tooraluri. Yeah. Yodeling in that. I love it.
We froze up. You'll be back. Well, Lauren's on hold. Hey, did you hear the one about what did the turkey say before Thanksgiving? I'm stuffed. Oh, mercy. Okay, Lauren, anytime now, buddy. So how's everybody doing out there today?
Yeah, you got to know when I get booted by the internet gods, you got to keep going because they.
I told them a joke, so that was good. I kept it rolling. Are you?
I'm back and forth. That's Chicago internet. I tell you, they get it from the dollar store. I say it every day. So on your shirt, we see SOAR Education.
Yep.
Talk about that. What is that? Where did it begin? Why did it begin? And who's it for?
Okay, it's for people of all ages. It's kind of a um, crazy way I came about this. It's one of my best friends, a water ski jumper, national champion. We skied together, and he had two identical twin sisters or daughters, but they were, the sisters. And when he quit jumping. He was a national champion, and he quit jumping so that he could coach his daughters how to ski. So at like 7 years old, he began coaching them and went above and beyond to get them the best coaches in the world and the best training in the world. And by the time they were 16 years old, they were the two best women trick water skiers in the world. And I looked at that and I thought, you know what? Kids are so talented. I mean, uh, when you look at these young girl gymnasts, which is, I think, is a prime example, they're teenagers. Some of them are 14, 15 years old,
Yeah.
and they're doing these impossible maneuvers perfectly. And when they're in the Olympics, they're on the biggest stage in the world under the most extreme pressure you can imagine, and they perform impeccably. And I thought, you know what? You need to. I into writing educational books for kids over the years. And I go, you know what? You need to come up with a book that will teach kids how to make their dreams come true and be the best that they can be, who don't have the parents that are, doing everything they can to help you become that person and to develop those talents. So I came up with SOAR Education, and it really began with, 16 lessons on how to make a dream come true.
16 lessons on how to make a dream come true. Here I've pulled up let's go to this part of it. Hold on. The SOAR Education site. And does this can you see it?
And I teach all the lessons. So I've got video that'll teach each lesson, and that's like the introduction video. And then I have a video teaching each lesson. So once the teacher has a program, I like to go to the school, introduce the program, and get to talk to the kids. It's amazing what these kids like. I really like sixth grade, and it's unbelievable what these kids dream of wanting to be one day. And I tell them, hey, you can do it. You got to believe in yourself. Don't let people distract you. And there's a lot of people who will say that, and it's like you need to discover what I call as your incredibilism, what's great about you, and just stay focused, and it will happen, and have a direction, and just don't give up. That's the biggest thing. I mean, this thing is really taking off for me now. And it's just because I've never quit, and it's the most exciting it's ever been, teaching these kids. I just got done from teaching up in the Wisconsin Dells, and then here in Florida at the Great American Teach-In. And it's just so exciting to see these kids just light up and glow when they know that you believe in them and that what they dream of doing is something that they can do. And you tell them, hey, you can do this, and there's something special about every one of you, and I'm telling you that. And once you give them support and let them know that you care about them, it's amazing what they can do.
So you said sixth grade is your favorite. What do you think it is about that middle school sweet spot? Because I agree, and I work with kids, and my thing, the Power of We Symposium, and I agree. Sixth grade, sixth, seventh, eighth, right in there is my favorite.
They're still impressionable. They still have some innocence there,
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think if you start at that age, you can really develop the educational path that they need to follow to make that dream a reality. And not every kid's going to go to college. And so I use the example, and I have girls tell me this, and even guys, it's just both. Well, I want to be a baker. Okay, well, there's not baking 101 in school anymore. There used to be back in the day, you had home ec.
Home ec. It used to be called.
And mechanics, shop class, all these skills that you should learn, they take them out of the school.
Just like music and art, and it's so different. School is so different today.
Exactly. And I say, well, hey, you want to be a baker? Go see the local baker and say, hey, how do I become a baker? Maybe you can get a part-time job there and really see what it's like to work in a bakery. And you can also Google. Google provides so much fast information. I got these little girls, well, I want to be a nail tech. I go, well, how do you become a nail tech? Well, I don't know. And I go, well, Google it. And all of a sudden they'll
Remember,
Google it and they'll find out what they need to do to become a nail tech. And I
see,
go, well,
back when things were more simplistic, even remember back on Saturday Night Live, good Lord, on Sesame Street, they used to have that segment. Who are the people in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? Who are? And they'd walk around and say, "Hi, Baker. Hi, Nail Tech," and introduce you to the different places and people that you would walk by in your neighborhood. And
wow.
yeah, they used to have a segment like that. So you could learn that these opportunities were available. But as a kid, you just don't walk inside the shop of the watch fixer. You know what I mean? The watch repair shop. You go there with your parents, and if they don't take you, you don't know it exists. So I
Yeah,
agree with you
exactly.
100%. So this SOAR thing, how do people, like, what about parents that a lot of people homeschool and whatnot now? Have you had any individual families take the
Yeah,
SOAR program and use it?
I just sent out a course yesterday. So what happens with my program, you buy a book, that's very affordable. And when you buy the book, you get the videos of me teaching the program. And I also have a teacher's edition in my SOAR educational program that gives, like, the parent some guidelines that they can go by and use to help teach the child each one of the lessons, or an adult. I mean, this program really works for people of all ages. I tell people about it. I go, hey, can adults take this thing? And I go, well, of course you can. And it's homeschool. I've got actually a homeschool with program with like 120 some kids that's going to be starting the program after the new year. So it's for anybody anywhere. I like being in the classroom with the kids because I
Yeah.
like to engage with them and help them go through the first couple of lessons of, what are you dreaming about doing, and then what are you passionate about. It's like, what do you love to do? Look at you. You're loving every moment you're sitting in the studio with your TV show. And it's, you wake up every day. I'm not working. I'm going to go do TV. I love to do it. I've got a great
Yeah.
show and I love the people. And you tell kids, if you wake up doing what you dream of doing every day, you're living the dream.
You're living the
And,
dream.
and
Absolutely
you got
right.
to believe in yourself. That's my big lesson on all of this, is that you've got to believe in yourself. And I believe
Yeah.
in you. And if I believe in you, that means you should believe in you. And I made them
Absolutely.
sign a
Absolutely.
contract. Actually, in the book, there's a little contract where you sign, do I believe in myself? Yes, I do. Well, then sign your name and agree that you're going to keep doing it.
Absolutely. So let me ask this, Hank. What was it like in the business, the SOAR business, when COVID came? Did you see a jump, a dip? What was it like when all of a sudden people couldn't get into the classroom?
Yeah, that really kind of put a halt on things for quite a while. And
Really? I would
yeah,
have thought it would have pushed it even further. You know what I'm saying? That people like,
well,
okay, we need stuff because no one can get out of this house, you know.
I was hoping I was really kind of in a groundbreaking part right there and redeveloping this program and getting it into the schools. And actually I was teaching it at a school it was like 70 miles away, in DeSoto County, DeSoto Middle School. And the folks were great down there. And then when not only did COVID hit, but then when the hurricane came, that really caused it hit them very hard. And so some big obstacles were in there that had to be dealt with.
Have
But
you been in a hurricane?
oh yeah, oh yeah, it's horrible. It's frightening. It's horrific. I mean,
Which do you
just
think is
this.
worse, a hurricane or a tornado?
I think um, the thing about it, they're both horrible. I
You've been
think
in a tornado?
I've never been in a
Oh,
tornado. No,
okay.
thank God I haven't.
Would you water ski through one? Would,
Let me click my heels here.
what about a hurricane? Would you water ski in a hurricane? No, you wouldn't.
No, No,
would.
I mean it's I've lost trees. I mean it's horrible. I just got a new roof put on my house because of the last hurricane that came through here and flooded, and I got new floors and everything. It was kind of
Oh
a
my
blessing.
goodness.
Oh, it's horrible. And to hear the winds and to hear trees falling down, and oh,
Can I ask
it's
you a
horrific.
question? A little off topic, but I'm curious because I'm thinking about it right now, ADHD, and you're there. Have you, we hear a lot about climate change, global
Mhm.
warming, and that sort of stuff because you've been down there in that neck of the woods for a minute. Have you seen those things change, like the hurricane season, and things that just don't make sense, climate based, in the area you live in? Have you noticed anything that makes you go,
Well,
huh?
I mean, it not really. It's hot here all the time, and it gets a little cold for a while in the winters. The thing that is scary, though, and the climate change, the ocean waters are warmer, and with the warmer ocean waters, it escalates the hurricanes, and so there's more of these hurricanes, becoming because of the warm water that accelerates them. And that's what's scary, because when you're in Florida, it's like, in these people down in the Bahamas and Cuba and some of these places, why you live there I don't know, because it's like the path, of
Yeah,
hurricanes that come zinging through. And they're scary because they're so big, they can cover from the east coast to the west coast. I mean, it's almost like you can't escape them. And that's what's scary, is that the hurricane um, startup is, I think, more now than before. But
yeah,
climate changing, at one time there used to be all glaciers. I mean, they go,
right.
is
It
there
was stuff that
climate
we were like,
change?
I never see that, but
It's
now
been
it's
changing for millions of years.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got something I want to throw in and just get your take on. I wonder if you've even ever been asked this. Probably not. But I pride myself on these type of questions.
Oh
So
boy.
I refer to this little thing as the Shirley Temple syndrome. And what I'm getting at is people who have had a career or some moment of fame or standout moment in their journey that was when they were younger, and like people who have careers in sports, but as they get older, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is no longer that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We see him now on his medication commercial. I get winded when I go through the airport
To
and
the
just
airport, or to get my
right.
mail.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What's it like, Frank? Because a lot of people who experience that big moment in their life way on the front end, and then they grow away from it. They, like Gary Coleman, didn't do so well. When now I'm not Gary Coleman, the cute little, you see these stories, and you're kind of in there because that, you outgrow. You're not going to be. How old are you now, Frank? Hank, can I ask how old you are?
72.
72. Now you still water ski, but do you still jump?
I quit jumping. I quit jumping a couple of years ago. I took a
You look
horrible
great, by
crash.
the way.
Pardon?
You look great, by the way, for your age.
Oh, thank you.
You
Thank you.
really do.
So a few years ago, I took a horrible crash in the Southern Regional Championships, and um, I couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks because I couldn't lay down. It's like being in a car wreck. So I couldn't lay down and sleep. So I had to sleep on my couch where I could lean up against the armrest. And I go, this is going to have to come to an end pretty soon, because some of my best friends that are the best in the world uh, get injured and get knocked out of the sport. But I kept skiing because I'm skiing well. And I came back to that site a few years ago and set a new Southern Regional jump record for my age division that still stands. And I'm still skiing, and technically I'm skiing as good as ever. I get out on the water and I feel like the kid that I've always been. I mean, I don't get up on the water and go, I'm getting old, oh boy, this is really rough. I get up on the water, I'm bouncing around, skiing at a faster boat speed because the wakes are smaller, and I just love, zipping through the wakes at like 55 miles an hour. And so I'm skiing great because I think this is a great Clint Eastwood verse or whatever saying is, you don't ever let the old man in. And
I know that's right.
you know, when I get out on the water, I feel like a kid. I look like a kid. And I'm trying to learn more all the time. It's just I took the jump out of it because I dislocated my elbow twice. In fact, in the first jump in the Senior World Championships, I dislocated my elbow on my first jump. Came back and took 2 more jumps, made it in the top 10 in the world. And when it
Wow.
came to skiing in the finals, I couldn't even hold on to the rope. I just had to pass on all 3 jumps because I didn't know what was going to happen when I hit the ramp. And it's just, you know, there comes a point where it's just not worth it. If I was playing in the NFL, I go, throw me in, coach. You're paying me $5 million a year, you know. But when you're doing it as a, you know, as a hobby, with, you know, you win a medal, which is great, but I see these guys that I don't know. I think being a water ski jumper, you're one of the toughest athletes out there. And my buddies that are the best in the world are such amazing athletes that it's too bad they don't get paid the way that, you know, athletes in other sports at that, you know, being the best.
I was going to ask you, why is it that water skiing isn't like in the Olympics?
Because you've got a towboat. And you've got a boat and a driver, which could make a difference in the skier's performance. And they've worked for years to try to get it in the Olympics. They've got cruise controls on the boats now. So there's electronics that when you drive the boat, you get it to a certain speed, it locks into that speed. It's like, do you ever go up a hill in your car and you see how it accelerates when you go up the hill?
Yeah.
That's what speed control is like in a boat. You know, it'll go when you start to lean on the, you know, ski away from the boat and apply pressure and resistance. Well, the boat will speed up to keep it at the, like, say 35 miles an hour is the top speed for, you know, the jump event. It'll keep it at a steady 35 miles an hour. So, but you have that boat element in there that keeps it out. They do have cable skiing where you get pulled by a cable and you eliminate the boat, but it's just been difficult to get it into the Olympics.
Yeah. Makes sense. Now, before we get out of here today, I wanted to, back at the front end of this interview, when we brought in SOAR, I asked you who it was for, and you said it's for all people, you know, not just kids. So you focus on kids, you do a lot with kids, but you said it's for, you know, 20 years old. It's over 20 years old, and it serves such a broad spectrum of people. So I found this interesting. Can you tell us about this piece that we're looking at on the screen?
Yeah.
And why this is so important, especially you said you're 72 years old and you're still skiing, you're still jumping. How much of what we're looking at on the screen play a part in the fact that you're still doing today what you did way back when we saw you on? That's incredible.
Okay, that's a great question. I'm delighted you brought that up. So my theory on making a dream come true is like building a brick wall. If you're going to build a brick wall, you got to put down one brick next to the other, one on top of the other, until you use all the bricks to complete the wall. Well, in making the dream wall, you have your bricks, and each brick has is a word, and each word is a lesson. So the first brick in making a dream come true is vision. If you're going to make a dream come true, you have to have a vision of what that dream is. And when I share this with the kids, this is what's so fantastic. I've got to, excuse me, share this with you. When I'm teaching these kids, I say, you got to have a vision. You got to be able to see it in your mind. And when you see it in your mind, then you just need to take that out of your mind and put together all these different pieces that are going to make it happen. And so I tell them, now I'm going to share with you a video of a dream that I had, a vision that I had that I made into a reality. But I got to warn you, what you're going to see is very dangerous. It's something nobody else in the world has ever done before. Well, now I got these kids all revved up to wanting to watch this video, and I show them the video from That's Incredible. And I go, that's exactly how I saw it in my mind. And because I produced the show for ABC, because I didn't want it to get, the first time I did my world record, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. So when I did it on That's Incredible, I produced the whole show because I didn't want anything to jeopardize it. But you've got to be.
How many takes did it take, by the way, Frank? I mean, Hank, how many takes?
I jumped the boats 4 times that day.
4 times a And did you know all the boat owners? Were those
No,
friends
I
that
knew a lot of them. Actually, they had where I did it was at a private ski site that I helped my best friend and my mentor develop. It was in a gravel pit, and they had already done all the aggregate in it and left a beautiful lake, and we made it into a private tournament ski site. So I had the lake, and he actually put on a tournament that weekend, so we'd have a bunch of people there for the event. And of course, I knew a lot of the people that were in the boats because they were there for the tournament, and I knew basically everybody from just skiing in the tournaments with them all. So, uh,
So what was it like that night after? Because everybody's at I'm sure there was a watering hole or some kind of place. That's Incredible crew was
oh
still
yeah,
around.
we partied with the That's Incredible crew. In fact, Spanky Spangler, who is a stunt man, was the producer of the event, and he came, and when I showed him I had everything organized, we drove down to the ski site, and there's all these Mastercraft boats on each side of the drive, and he's freaking out going, I come to these things, I'm building ramps. I go, you don't have to do anything. You just sit here. I'm going to tell you where the camera needs to be. You're going to get a guy in the boat with me, and it's going to be showtime, baby. And that's
Right.
how it went. So yeah, we partied. Spanky was a crazy guy. He did stunts like going up. He'd be at a baseball stadium, and he'd have a big airbag over home plate. I mean, a huge big airbag, and he'd go up in a helicopter and then just jump out of the helicopter and land into the airbags.
Oh,
So
to hit the
he was
spot.
a little bit of a freak. He and I got along great.
Speaking of trust and whatnot, the driver of your boat that day, because he got a close up in the clip.
Oh yeah.
So
That's it.
who is this guy? Did you must have had a lot of
So
faith in him, and
okay, so
yeah,
this is a quick. Do I have a couple minutes for the story?
we do. We have, what do we have? We have 3 minutes left.
Okay, I'm going to make it real quick. So the first time I do this stunt, I'm invited down to Cypress Gardens, which is the water ski capital of the world back in the day, and I'm going to do my stunt. And I've got a boat driver I've trained with all week long. He doesn't show up on Saturday morning. A storm's coming in, and the wind's howling across the stadium lake where we're going to take place. So I got to go get an old jump, put it in the lake. My boat driver doesn't show up. I get a boat driver that I've never skied with before. I had to put a yellow shirt on with red tights because they didn't like my black wetsuit. And I thought, when I'm leaving the dock, I go, what the heck were you thinking? You're going to die today. But anyhow, I made the jump, set my first world record at 12 boats. And then when we did it for That's Incredible, I said, I'm bringing my boat driver, I'm bringing my camera crew. And that's how it had to be. Sad story. And this could be a whole nother show in itself. Is that next year he drowned in a horrible boating accident while we were practicing.
The driver?
The driver. And it was horrific. But and that has a lot to do with my not giving up. Because if I did, I would have let him down.
Wow.
Really,
that's a real poignant piece to end on today.
It's just, you got to keep going.
That you keep going.
Yeah. And you're going to have hardships. You're going to run into these brick walls, and you're going to have obstacles that get in your way, and you just got to get around them. You got to keep going. Got to believe in yourself.
That's absolutely right. So, Frank, for those who would like to continue the dialogue with you, especially those who work in education, work with young people that might benefit, which we know there's no might to it, they will. If they want to reach out to find more about the SOAR program, they can go to what we see scrolling, soareducation.com. But there's also your Facebook, Hank.Longo, that people can go to find out about what's just happening in your neck of the woods. What do you got planned for? Last question. What do you got planned for 2024? Anything we need to know about? What's coming up?
Well, it's getting to be very exciting. I'm going to start off in Minneapolis. I'm going to go to a superintendent conference there, and I've been invited to be be part of that event, just to go experience it with all these superintendents. Then in February, I'm off to San Diego to display again at another one of the top superintendent conventions in the country. So really get things kick-started at the beginning of the year. Just got on. I got my new sound system in today, and my new screen that's about 5 feet by 12 feet long, and my projector. So it's getting ready to be showtime in 2024.
There you
Here
go.
we come, baby. Here we come.
There you go. 72 years old, still jumping, still water
Still
skiing,
jumping.
and still making a difference in the world.
Still working out on the heavy bag, you know, trying to be that.
I love it. Take it all the way.
Wait, I'm out of breath now. I'm out of breath now.
Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. You can't trick me. I think you're like me. I tell people every day, I'm trying to be the black male Betty White.
There you go.
Right. I'm trying to work all the way up to 100, all the way. So Frank. I'm kidding.
Hank.
I had to get one more in, or just wouldn't be right. Hank, listen. Have the best holiday season. I wish you the very best. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you for all you do and have always done to support people and to pour into our young people. And just a pleasure. Really is. Welcome back anytime. Just let me know.
Doctor, I will. It's been a treat talking with you. I enjoy your company. I think you're an amazing individual yourself, and just watching all the stuff you've done is my hat's off to you, and just delighted that I guess to easily say it's easy to describe your friendship. Incredible.
Oh, thanks. Thank you so much, Hank. I appreciate you.
Merry Christmas to you. Great holiday season.
Thank you so much. I receive that. Listen, you guys out there, come back tomorrow. If you feel so inclined. I know I will. God willing, I'll meet you right over there on the front porch at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, as together we create another divine moment in time through illuminated conversation. Get out there today. Find whatever it is you need to take great to greater, bright to brighter, strong to stronger, nice to nicer, and kind to kinder. It takes 1 E and 1 R. I believe you can do it. Get out there. Find your highest self. And remember, as always, as we leave, I tell you I love you. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Get out there. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Thanks.
Same to you. Bye, everybody.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul.